Hey everybody, it's Thursday, and that means once again it is time for a weekly haul video from me. My name is Scott. This is Comic Book Hangover, my little part of YouTube. Small and humble though it may be, I enjoy having what I have. So thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing, and we're just going to kind of jump into it. I didn't really get a lot of books this week, so it may not be a very long video. So jumping in with first, we're going to talk about the reprints that I picked up this week. And something I'm very happy with that Marvel has started to do with their True Believers books. So starting first though with DC, I grabbed their two of their dollar books that came out this week. Batman number 386. This is the first reprinting of the first appearance of the Black Mask, who is in the new Harley Quinn Birds of Prey movie. So there's a reprint of that. I've always liked this cover. Never really understood the significance of it because I'm really not honestly much of a DC guy. So while I do enjoy their covers, what's inside of them I don't really get into them too much. But I've always liked this cover, so it's kind of cool to have that in my collection. I've got that, and I grabbed Batman Shadow of the Bat number 1, another cover that I've always liked. I remember seeing this on the stands when it first came out, but I think I was really kind of overloaded with books at the time, so I kind of passed on it. I do have some later issues of this series that are part of a crossover, but it's kind of cool to have this one finally. And then I've got Marvel or a DC facsimile edition. I'm so used to saying Marvel facsimiles, but now DC's in on the game. So Green Lantern number 1. Again, not really too big into the older DC stuff, but I do enjoy the fact that they are doing these facsimile editions. One thing about the old DC books that I thought was kind of interesting though was as you're reading it, inside of it, across the top of the page of every single story page in the book, it has the name of the book. Like this one here says Green Lantern all the way across the top of all the pages. I thought that was interesting. It's kind of like, do you really need the title of the book that you clearly bought of your own free will? But I always wondered why they did that, but it was kind of cool. So then I kept that in here. So the facsimile editions, of course, are page for page complete reprints of those specific books that they're of. So this includes all the original trailer, all the original commercials, advertisements, sorry. So whereas the True Believers and the dollar comics reprint the story, but have the current advertisements in them. The facsimile editions have all the original stuff. Even if there's letter pages, it has the original letter pages in them. So it's pretty cool. I do like these facsimile editions. So those are all the reprints I got from DC. From Marvel, they did a True Believers, part of the Iron Man 2020 line of True Believers, featuring the first appearance of Pepper Potts. This is Tales of Suspense, reprinting issue number 45. Now, I've noticed that this one is a little bit different. Here's one from last week. Part of the Criminally Insane one. So you notice how they have the True Believers banner across the top, but they replace the original logo with what it is. So it's part of the Criminally Insane Absorbing Man. With this one, I noticed they kept the original logo on there, and across that top banner over here it says what it is: Iron Man 2020 Pepper Potts. Now if they do this, keep the cover more intact, that's awesome. This is what I want, and it's kind of cool that they do that. So this is awesome. This is perfect. So thank you, Marvel, for finally putting the original cover a little bit more intact than what it was. It's not perfect, but hey, I love it. This is great. It's got the original logo on it. That's what I want. So moving on and kind of segueing into newer books, kind of, sort of, in a way. I have a second print here. This is a second print for the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 1. They did a bunch of second prints, variant covers. It's kind of weird that second prints now have variant covers. So this is the one I wanted. This is the first issue, has Shredder holding the helmet of the Red Ranger. I don't know what it is. I mean, Red Ranger is one I kind of lean towards for some reason. No reason in particular. I always like the red helmet. But I liked that cover, so I had my LCS hold that for me. Also this week, Power Rangers Ninja Turtles number 3, which has probably one of the most exciting endings I've read in a while. I've said that about a couple of other books, which is kind of cool to have so many books that have great endings, great cliffhanger endings. But the cliffhanger on this ending is awesome because you're going to get, let's just say, Shredder, using the green Power Ranger coin, is now an amalgamation of Shredder and the Green Ranger. He figures out a way to negate the Rangers' abilities to morph, so they cannot become the Rangers anymore. Their morphers still work, but they can't use them. So the 5 original Rangers can no longer become Rangers, but other people or other beings rather can. And so we've got what, 4 turtles in April O'Neil. Draw your own conclusions. It just means that issue 4 of this miniseries is going to have a really awesome moment in there, and I'm looking forward to it. Picked up Doctor Doom number 5. This is kind of ending the main story arc, where Doom is trying to clear his name, I guess, by killing as many people as he possibly can. I don't know. It's an interesting book that it has moments in there that really kind of makes me want to continue to read it, but it has a lot of moments in it that I'm like, I really don't need to read this book anymore. So with this issue here, I'm dropping Doctor Doom. I don't see a need to pick it up anymore. The cover is really sweet, though. I love that cover. And the battle between Doom and the Taskmaster is really interesting. I figure it kind of went the way that I sort of figured it would, with Doom being involved. But this is a really sweet cover. I'll say that. That's an amazing cover. But my last issue of Doctor Doom. And finally this week, I picked up Batman number 88. Still an amazing run. I had no idea, though, that this book was going to be bi-weekly. That might change my interest in buying it, because it's way too much, way too soon. The story is amazing. It'd be nice to have it stretched out a little bit. So apparently Riddler, Catwoman, Penguin, and Joker had some sort of arrangement with this character that we're going to be meeting in the later issue, and it was designed to bring down the Batman, and the plan is now in progress, and Catwoman no longer wants to do it because apparently she's changed her ways. She's with Batman, Bruce Wayne now, and it's just it's an interesting idea where you've got her sort of torn between her former life and her current life, and you've got Penguin trying to protect himself by getting rid of anybody who might harm him and his empire. You've got the Riddler, who's completely insane, and the Joker, who is dead. I don't know if we saw his corpse in this one, or a corpse that was similar to the Joker's. I don't really know what's going on with that, but this is a very interesting story, and it's officially now on my pull list. And again, like I said, with the issue 87, it's the first time since Nightfall that I've been reading Batman and really getting excited and really eager to check out the next issue. That it's coming out bi-weekly, I'm going to stick with it as much as I can. That's a bit much, especially for a $4 book, but it's still an amazing read. And great art, great writing. I've read a few people online saying they didn't really care for it. I don't understand why, but to each their own. I mean, there's books that are tremendously popular, like Donny Cates does stuff. I like Thor that he's writing, but I tried Absolute Carnage, which everybody loved. To me, it was boring as all get out. It was boring and disjointed. The art was kind of a mess. So for me, it was not, I really didn't enjoy it, but a lot of people did. That's great. That's what makes comic books awesome, is if this book isn't for you, another book down the rack may be. That's why I always say, try something new. I never would have thought I would have Batman on my pull list again, but I tried it. Had a new writer, the same dude who's writing the Something is Killing the Children from Boom. I love that series. It's an amazing series. If you're not checking it out, definitely check it out. But when I saw he's writing this one, I'm like, well, I want to see how he does a superhero type thing. And if you're going to do something interesting with a superhero, why not do something interesting with Batman? And I'm digging it. So always good to try something new. You might see this as well. My good friend Cody Lockwood from Lockwood's Loot was at a collector show in my hometown over the weekend, and I noticed he had this. He had some other wrestling magazines, but he had this, and I had to have it. It was a $10 purchase. I don't care. I wanted it, and the reason why is because way back a long time ago, I was at this event, and I remember having this program when we went to the event. But that was what, 1987. 1987. Yeah, 87. So, being a kid, I really didn't take care of it. The magazine is long gone. It's nice to have a copy of it again. The thing that's kind of sad is, it'd be cool to have some signatures on it, but all the people that I want autographs from, Andre the Giant and Macho Man Randy Savage, are not with us anymore. But it's cool to have that again. So, thank you, Cody, for having that. Thank you for letting me purchase that from you. I really appreciate it. So we're going to stop this right now. I'm going to put my books up on the wall. I've also got a few books that are going to be fillers, some classic stuff from my collection, including the first Moon Knight book I ever bought. So we're going to go ahead and stop this part of it. The little box up here that's going to pop up, or if that hasn't popped up already, that's where you want to click. That'll take you to my wall video. So we will see you in a moment.